Yes, Your Honor.
Respondent counsel may now continue with this cross-examination. Attorney Binduan, you are recognized and may proceed whenever you are ready.
Your Honor, before we proceed, may I request that counsel for the panel of prosecutors, Attorney Virgil Ligutan, be recognized once more for the examination of our second witness.
Counsel for the prosecutors, Attorney Ligutan is recognized on the part of the panel of prosecutors. Again, to reiterate, Attorney Binduan, when you are ready, you may proceed with the continuation of your cross-examination of the witness, Attorney Lotok.
Good afternoon, Attorney Lotok.
Good afternoon, sir.
So yesterday, you identified videos, correct?
Yes, sir.
And specifically, portions of the November 23, 2024 press con.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, in that press con, VP Sara spoke about a lot of topics. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. In other words,
Mr. Witness, kindly answer yes
Ye-
or no,
yes, sir.
and not simply say,
in other words,
Sorry, Your Honor.
she said many statements in that press con.
She said many statements, sir.
All right. My question is this. Do you know for sure that VP Sara's statements during that press con happened in real life?
In real life? Well,
Objection, Your Honor. Incompetent. The statements happening in real life as to the real life of the Vice President, this witness is being asked that question. Of course, the witness is incompetent, Your Honor, please.
If he knows.
counsel, kindly reform. It seems the witness did not understand
Okay,
the
let
question.
me help you. I'm showing you also a portion of our exhibit D-1-145-A. This is the whole version of the video that the portions there that you identified yesterday. And particularly, I'll show you timestamp 51-07 or colon 07 onwards of the video. In this video, the Vice President mentioned about events that happened inside the Batasang Pambansa. Can we play that video, please?
Dapat sa demokrasya, there's a rule of law. And then they make rules as they go along. Whoever pleases the speaker, get her out of the House of Representatives kasi hindi siya dapat nandyan. Bakit? Pag may-ari niyo ba itong compound na ito, then sasabihin pa nila sa akin na there is a threat to my life inside the Batasang Pambansa? Why is there a threat to my life?
All right. My question to
Your
you
Honor,
is
Your
this.
Honor, point of clarification, if I may, Your Honor, please.
Counsel for the prosecutor is recognized.
Your Honor, there is a video that is marked in evidence capturing the events on November 23, 2024. And here we have the defense.
Your Honor, may we just
Oh,
note the
wait.
objection, Your Honor?
Wait, I'm
This
explaining.
is not a time for lecture, Your Honor.
Counsel, I have not yet recognized you. Let counsel for the prosecutor
Your Honor,
finish.
point of clarification, they are presenting a video with anecdotes. I'm now questioning the propriety of the defense presenting a video without laying the basis where this video came from, who is the source of those annotations thereto. Because, Your Honor, there's a video. They're confronting this witness with that video by presenting their own annotated, it's like a props, Your Honor, please. This is highly irregular in the court of law.
Counsel for the respondent, is this the video previously marked in evidence?
Your Honor, as I mentioned, we marked it in evidence as D-4-3, Your Honor. And this was also marked by the prosecution as their own. They have a separate
No.
marking for this, Your
No.
Honor.
This is part of the
No.
2-hour and so-and-so minute video?
Correct, Your Honor. At any rate, Your
Your
Honor,
Honor,
if I may be
Counsel
allowed
for
to
the
finish.
prosecutor, kindly hold on.
At any rate, Your Honor,
Counsel for the respondent,
Okay.
the chair is not yet done. And the annotation below the video, is that part of the marked video?
this is part, Your Honor, of a separate exhibit that is also part of the Articles of Impeachment, Annex G, Your Honor. This is Mr. Kalilong's own transcription of the video, just to be clarified on
But
that
who
matter.
put it there?
We just placed it there, Your Honor. So we're making him identify actually the video as well as the appropriate transcription, which are both part of the articles of impeachment and Annex G9.
Presiding officer will allow it. Witness may answer.
So the question is, can you confirm for certain that these statements or any part thereof happened in real life?
Can you give me the timestamp, Your Honor, para ma-compare ko siya? Kung,
Timestamp 51-07.
Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes.
You may do so, sir.
Anong timestamp, sir?
5107.
To help this honorable court, Your Honor, it appears on page 84 or more or less of the Articles of Impeachment Annex G9, Your Honor. This is the transcription of Agent John Mark Calilong dated December 26, 2024. For the record, Your Honor.
Noted.
Pwede akong patingin na lang. Kulang ito. 51. Timestamp 51.
Show it. Your Honor, in the interest of time, can we confront the witness with our own copy
Your own copy of what, counsel?
of the Articles of Impeachment Annex G9, Your Honor?
Well, counsel, assisting counsel for the prosecutor is there. If in case there are any problems, kindly confirm if indeed that is the document being shown to the witness.
Wala din siya.
Yeah. Page 14. Page 14.
That is page 14 of the Affidavit of Transcription.
Page 14. Saan ito? This is page 14.
Yeah.
Saan dyan?
Your Honor, I manifest that we are showing that specific portion on the transcript prepared by Agent Calilong of the NBI.
Saan?
But actually, Your Honor, even without consultation with the transcript, my answer is very simple. I'm just asking Your Honor. My question, I'm sorry, is very simple. My only question is, does he know for certain that these statements or any part of this statement happened in real life?
Your Honor, nabasa ko po rito sa copy ko, yung nandiyan dyan.
So do you confirm that the statements were made by the Vice President, Mr. Witness?
It's here in the transcription, Your Honor, yes.
No. My question is not whether she made the statement. My question is, if you know, based on your personal knowledge, if any statement or a portion thereof happened in real life. That's the question.
Well, Your Honor, the fact that we have the video on November 26, when the Vice President reiterated what she uttered in November 23, 2024.
Your Honor, I'm not even...
And at the same time, Your Honor,
The
maybe
witness is in the process of
manifestation-
Allow the
answering
witness to answer.
Your Honor, we invited the media personalities who have personal knowledge on that date and on that online press conference. And nung tinanong namin sila kung nag-participate sila, sabi nila yes. Nakausap nila yung Vice Presidente, nagbigay sila ng mga katanungan. So definitely yes, nangyari po yun.
Your Honor, may you manifest, Your Honor, make a manifestation?
Yes, counsel.
Your Honor, it appears that the witness is not being responsive to our question. He's talking about something that I did not ask. We are only focusing on this particular statement. We will show other statements later on. And we cannot get an answer from him if he knows.
Counsel, even I am confused with the question happened in real life. I think some of us are too.
Mm-mm.
If the
I'll be more
question-
specific,
If
Your
the
Honor.
question is kung alam nyo bang totoong nangyari to sa totoong buhay, ang sagot ng testigo ay sa pagkakaalam niya ay oo, base sa kanilang investigasyon at sinabi ng mga inimbitahan nilang testigo.
All right. I'll
Um,
clarify the question, Your
Kindly
Honor.
do so, Counsel.
All right. In this statement, for example, the Vice President said there were threats to my life inside the Batasang Pambansa. Are you confirming that?
That is within the
All right.
transcription here, sir.
Now, my question to you is this. Did you investigate those threats
Objection,
to VP
Your Honor.
Sara's
Okay now.
I'm not yet done.
All right,
Allowed-
sige.
I'm not yet done.
Yes,
Counsel,
yes. So.
Did you investigate the threat to VP Sara's life during that time?
Objection. Now, misleading, Your Honor.
What is it?
Because the question was, do you confirm that that statement is found in the transcription as to the Vice President saying that there were threats to her life? And then the witness said, yes, I confirm that I can find it in the transcription. Now, the next question of the good counsel is, so did you investigate the threats? That is the classic misleading question.
Can we get the
Assuming a
ruling,
fact.
Your Honor?
Counsel, he's a lawyer. Attorney Lotok is a lawyer and he knows exactly what's going on. Attorney Lotok, kindly answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your answer?
What's the question, sir?
The question is, she mentioned there about the threats to his life. My question is simple. Did you investigate the threats to VP Sara's life during that time?
You mean during the live stream, sir?
During that time, correct. That during that live stream, she mentioned that there were threats to her life.
Well, based on our investigation, nangyari yung live stream between 11 p.m. 22 to 1 a.m. 23. And then nalaman namin through, nung kumalat siya sa social media, ng mga hapon na, kaya nag-start kami ng investigation. At that time, hindi pa namin alam yung buong laman ng video na yan kasi nag-start pa lang kami. So, I instructed Agent Kalilong na siya maging agent on case and then kunin niya yung video, the whole video para sa authentication.
Attorney
And
Lotok,
so far-
kindly answer the question directly. So I get from your long answer that the answer is no.
Specifically at that live stream moment, no, sir. Hindi pa
That
namin
was the
alam yan, sir.
question of Attorney Binluan. If you investigated at that time, so the answer is no.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But-
Please proceed.
But later on, you said you did an investigation. So are you admitting that there were threats to the life of VP Sara?
Precisely, that's the reason why we sent a December 2, 2024 letter for VP Sara to shed light on our investigation.
All right, I'll move on to a different part of the video. On page also of Exhibit D-1-145-A, this now pertains to timestamp 5930 onwards of the video recording. So page 15 of the affidavit of transcription, also by Agent Kalilong of the NBI, dated December 26, 2024. Can we show that video and then provide the appropriate transcript? Can you play that again, please?
Yung speaker mo, pinabayaan mo siya abusuhin ang pera ng bayan. Paikot-ikot sa buong bansa, namimigay ng pera na para bang kanya yung pera. Eh di ba nga, lagi niyo sinasabi separation of powers? Anong trabaho ng legislative branch? Gumawa ng batas. Anong ginagawa ni Martin Romualdez? Nagdidirect ng DSWD, namimigay ng ayuda, nagsasabi kung anong bibigay, anong ibibigay, anong gagawin, sino ba ang presidente?
All right. So my question to you is this. Okay, having watched that video and read the transcript, my question is very simple. Do you know for sure if this statement by the Vice President or any part thereof happened in real life?
Well, Your Honor, as I've said, I've answered already. Nung inimbestigahan namin yan, yung video,
Your Honor,
nagsubpoena kami
a yes or no answer will suffice, Your Honor.
Kindly answer more directly to save on the court's time, Mr. Attorney Lotok.
Your Honor, based on our investigation, yes, it happens. In the natural order of things, nangyari talaga yan.
So in other words, you're admitting that Martin Romualdez goes around the country to distribute money?
I'm saying nangyari ho yung utterances na yan.
That's not
Vice
my
President.
question. That's precisely my point. I'm not asking if she made the statements. I'm asking if the truth of these statements you have personal knowledge of. So be more direct in your answer.
That's why I have to object now, Your Honor. Now, there are several statements made, and then the witness is being asked, do you confirm these statements? Compound question. Exactly, that's the reason why we don't allow. There are so many statements o sinasabi gumawa ng batas. So siguro yung tanong is this happened, did this happen in real life? So this witness being confronted with several statements and he is being asked to answer a yes or no. That's why it's compound question.
Your Honor, my question is the statements or any part thereof, Your Honor. The witness is smart enough to answer. He can just clarify.
The objection, the objection is sustained, but not on that ground, but rather in the ground that the witness is incompetent to testify as to the truth of the matter stated by the Vice President. He can only testify as to the fact that those statements were made only as to tenor, but not as to the truth, given that he only investigated and was not there. You may proceed, counsel.
In that case, Your Honor, if we confront also, just a manifestation, Your Honor.
Yes, you may proceed.
In other words, Your Honor, we would like to manifest, Your Honor, based on that ruling of the court, that even if VP Sara said that she already talked to a person, then we cannot confirm the truth because this witness does not have personal knowledge.
That's a conclusion. Objection.
That's just a manifestation for the court's appreciation. Can I just proceed with my next question,
Counter
Your Honor?
manifestation, Your Honor, please. Counter manifestation, please. To put into record, Your Honor, please.
For about 15 seconds, counsel.
Okay,
Yes.
the defense is entitled to their own conception of things. They're entitled to their own imagination. That's all.
Counsel may proceed with his cross.
Just to belabor this point, Your Honor, Annex D-1-145-A. Anyway, Your Honor, they showed around 7 to 8 videos yesterday, so we'll show about 4. This pertains to timestamp 1-08-58, and we will also present page 17 of the affidavit of transcription, also by Agent Kalilong, dated December 26, 2024. In this video clip, the Vice President mentioned about the former Speaker of the House and the confidential funds of the Office of the President. Can we play that video?
Hindi mo hindi ka nga dumadaan ng contest eh. Kasi wala kang kalaban sa Tacloban. Kasi binibili mo, pinapakidnap mo, hinaharas mo ang mga kalaban mo. Hindi ka dumaan ng contest. Ang alam mo lang, kasi mayaman ka, bibilin ko lahat ng tao ng pera. Ikubriman mong tanan, kwarta na may inyo. There is nothing in you except money. Yan lang. Martin, harapin mo yung katotohanan. Walang senador man, vice president man, president man, walang mabuti sa'yo. Hindi ko nga alam kung mananalo ka pa ngayon sa Tacloban eh. Malamang hindi na. Sinong gusto sa lahat sa buong Pilipinas ang ibalik ka sa Kongreso? Hindi lahat ng tao pupunta yan doon sa Tacloban, mangangampanya yan sa kalaban mo. Kasi, magnanakaw ka. Hindi ka dumadaan sa audit. Milyon-milyon, buwan-buwan. Certification lang ng congressman. 1 million, 2 million, pirma lang. Alam nyo, bakit alam ko? Kasi may MA din ako. May MA ako sa DepEd, may MA ako sa OBP. Pero sa akin, nire-require ako ng resibo ng COA. Pero alam ko, certification lang ang kailangan. Pero mag-apply ako. Bigay niyo lahat ng resibo. Pero ikaw, pirma mo lang, hindi mo nga ata pirma yan, pirma lang ng staff mo yan. Milyon dyan sa Committee on Accounts. Lumalabas ang pera. Pirma nyo lang. Walang nag-audit sa inyo. Sino ang nag-audit ng confidential funds ng Office of the President? Wala. Yan ang Pilipinas. Yan! Ang bagong Pilipinas. Kriminal ang speaker. Bakit ko nasabi kriminal siya? Basahin niyo yung kaso niya sa United States of America.
Okay.
Sinungaling, Presidente.
All right. All right. Again, my question based on this video is very simple. She spoke about Speaker Martin Romualdez as well as the President. Can you confirm or do you know for sure that these statements about Martin Romualdez or the President are true?
Okay. Your Honor, I will object on the same ground, and I hope that the presiding officer will do the same ruling. This witness is incompetent. I know what the defense is doing. Your Honor, objection. Incompetent. This witness is highly incompetent as to whether he knows whether those statements are in fact
What's the ground
happening.
for the objection? Can we just be informed of the ground for the objection?
I just said it. Incompetent. This witness
Can we
is
get the ruling,
incompetent.
Your Honor?
Chair made an earlier ruling already that the witness is incompetent to testify as to the truth of the matter. But since Attorney Lotok, you're a lawyer, I will give it this time to the counsel for the respondents. Kindly respond. Since you're a lawyer, you should know the proper answer to this question. Kindly respond to the question of counsel for respondent.
Again, I do not know personally about the factual circumstances. What I know is that she uttered those statements.
We're satisfied with that answer, no? Your Honor.
Proceed,
One last video. On page 87 of the Articles of Impeachment, Annex G9, this is timestamp 1-12-43. This is quite a lengthy video, but not as lengthy. But this is our last video, so we beg the court's indulgence. The affidavit of transcription, page 17, also of Agent Park Kalilong, dated December 26, 2024. Are we ready with that video?
Your Honor, to save
Counsel for the prosecutors.
because I know the counsel will ask the same question. So to save time, Your Honor, please, since the
Your Honor,
counsel-
what is
wait,
the
wait, wait.
objection?
I'm not yet done. I'm not yet done.
Kindly let
Relax.
the counsel for the prosecutor finish.
Relax. Now, Your Honor, if the same line of question will be asked, okay.
Your
the
Honor,
wait, I'm not yet
cannot
done.
he cannot
I'm not
preempt,
yet
Your
done.
Honor.
I'm not yet done. The prosecution is willing to stipulate that yes, the Vice President uttered that statement as to the fact of her uttering the statement.
We have a different question, Your Honor, just to satisfy his query.
All right.
So I guess the objection is withdrawn, or the manifestation is withdrawn, and counsel for respondent may proceed
Play the
with
video,
the
please.
showing of the playing of the video.
At nang kainin ko, buffet. Kan dito sa House of Representatives. Alak. Lahat. Lahat ng juice, lahat ng mamahaling wine. Pero yung taong bayan, na pinamisan ninyo ng 20 pesos na rice, yung taong bayan na hindi ninyo pinupuntahan sa mga komunidad nila, ano sabi nila? Asin lang okay na mi, anad naman mi anak. Ganyan ang bayan natin. Okay na lang kami sa asin. Saan ka nakahanap ng bayan na ang tao, because of their hopelessness, because there is no functioning government, umukay na lang sa asin. Buti na nga lang, abogado si Attorney Lopez eh. Kasi alam niya kung ano sasabihin niya doon sa mga pumasok sa kwarto niya. Na take note, nagnakaw pa ng cellphone. Saan ka nakahanap? Papasok ka, nanakawin mo yung cellphone, dadalhin mo pa yung tao. Diba? Princess, you're raising your hand.
Hello? Naririnig po ba ako, Princess Maui?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Good morning po, Madam Vice President. Thank you so much nga po pala sa dala niyong hopya nung hearing na pumunta kayo for PRRD. Kami yung nasa likod niyo po, yung tinawag nilang bastos kasi pumalak pa kami because of Congresswoman Cardema. Yan. Thank you, ma'am. Nakakain kami. Ako po ay natatakot kumain ng pagkain doon baka mamaya. Ma'am, mag-iingat po kayo. Nasa teritoryo kayo ng kalaban.
Okay lang,
Nag-aalala po kami
ma'am, kasi sila naman na eh. Sila talaga yung bastos eh. You reap
Opo,
what you
okay.
sow.
Yeah. Mag-iingat po kayo kasi sa dinami-rami po ng inyong mga pasabog ngayong gabi, it seems like marami po talaga kayong alam about them, no? Dahil sa pagkakasama niyo sa kanila during the campaign and during the 2022 elections. Baka po mamaya kasi totoo yung mga naririnig namin or yung, I don't know if it's true, na meron daw silang Operation Romanovs and baka bala kayong ubusin ang inyong pamilya dahil hadlang kayo sa kanilang mga balakin in the future. So mag-iingat po kayo. Kami po kasi kami ng EDSA Friday crew, kami yung bumababa every Friday dyan sa EDSA because we believe yan yung tamang venue sa dinami-rami na ng problema natin. Ang kaya lang naman po namin gawin ay manawagan na bumaba na yan. Eh ano po kaya ang remedy naman ninyong mga nasa posisyon or ng mga kayang labanan itong napakarami na pong ginagawang korupsyon at krimen laban sa taong bayan? Ano po ang pwede nyo maging remedy para matapos na ito, lalo't nagsisigaw na po ang taong bayan na mag-people power na?
Yes. Huwag ka mag-alala, ma'am, sa security ko. Kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. Sinabi ko sa kanya, kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Araneta, at si Martin Romualdez. No joke. No joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag ka tumigil hanggang hindi mo mapatay sila. And then he said yes. So, alam mo, ma'am, yan ang lagi kong sinasabi sa Makabayan Block nung mayor pa ako. Ang laban, wala dyan sa EDSA, ma'am. Wala dyan sa mga highway. Ang laban, ma'am, nandun sa loob ng palasyo. Yan ang problema. We appreciate yung expression ninyo ng disgust, ng pagkamuhi, ng hopelessness, kasi it reflects kung ano yung nararamdaman ng marami, milyon. Alam ko yan, ma'am, kasi kahit saan ako pumunta, ako ang sinasabihan, binoto namin yan dahil sinabi mo, iboto namin. So, yes, ma'am. Maraming salamat sa ginagawa ninyo. Dahil sa ginagawa ninyo, I'm sure nakikita yan ang taong bayan. Ina-appreciate nila yan. Marami sa ating mga kababayan ang gusto sumali sa inyo. Pero sa sobrang hirap ng buhay ngayon, hindi nila maiwanan yung mga trabaho nila at hanap buhay nila para pumunta sa daan. Bakit sila naghihirap? Bakit? Dahil sa gobyerno. Di ba dapat yung gobyerno natin ang nagpapagaan ng buhay ng tao? Bakit ang gobyerno natin ang nagpapahirap lalo sa tao? Kasi gusto ba nila lagi na lang mahirap ang mga tao para madali mapasunod? May mga lugar kami sa Mindanao na ganyan ang mga politiko. Gusto nila mahirap lahat. E bahugan lang nila ang kwarta. Governor na sila, mayor na sila, congressman na sila. Hanapin niyo, ma'am, yung mga lugar na sobrang hirap sa Mindanao. Tingnan niyo anong gawain ng politiko. Pinapakain lang ng pera ang tao. Binabastos yung kanilang pagkatao dahil wala silang pakialam.
Attorney Lotok, she said a lot of statements in that portion of
Yes,
the
sir.
video. In fact, that statement included the statement which you investigated, correct?
Included in the transcription, sir. Yeah.
All right. Now you get the point. My question to you is this. Can you confirm now that the statement she made about BBM, FL, and the former speaker and the congressman relating to various acts of corruption are true and happened in real life?
As to the existence of that utterances, yes, sir.
All right. So you just admitted that the congressmen are all corrupt.
As to the
Okay, thank you for that.
existence
Thank you
of
for that.
utterances,
Objection.
yes, sir.
That is a foul side remark.
She said she.
The
I wasn't
counsel
the
is
one who said it,
twisting
Your Honor.
the answer of the witness. If
the
I may,
witness
can I
was the one who
finish?
said yes.
Counsel
Can I
for the
finish?
parties, kindly settle down.
Can I finish?
The witness said that he confirmed as to the fact that the utterances were made.
That's why, Your Honor, I am objective.
Kindly be more specific. Attorney Lotok, you know what's being asked for.
Yes, sir.
Finish and complete your answer to avoid the misunderstanding.
Well, based on our investigation, as to the existence of that utterances, yeah, dahil may mga pieces of evidence kami. But whether or not nangyari yan, wala ho akong personal knowledge, sir.
All right. In the same way, you also do not have personal knowledge that VP Sara contracted an assassin, correct?
Your Honor, the video dated November 26, 2024, the Vice President reiterated.
it's
and in
answerable by
fact,
yes or
there
no, Your
was-
Honor. How can he be?
He's answering.
How can he be?
Counsels, kindly settle down. This is not a college debate. Attorney Lotok, the question was simple. Kindly answer the question directly.
Yes, sir.
You
That
do not
it-
have personal knowledge.
That utterances made by the Vice President that she contracted a person, I do believe that, sir, because of the pieces of evidence that we've gathered, sir.
No, I'm not asking whether or not she said those statements. I'm asking if you have personal knowledge based on this that the Vice President really contracted an assassin.
Ask an answer.
Or, sorry, a person.
Objection. Ask and answer.
Witness
time
will
around.
answer.
Based on our investigation, Your Honor, we do believe that the Vice
Attorney
President...
Lotok, the question was, do you have personal knowledge?
As to the fact of the utterances, and then when the Vice President reiterated that in
Attorney
November
Lotok, you're a
26,
smart
yes, sir.
man. Just answer the question. Do you have personal knowledge? You said that as to the other parts, you do not have personal knowledge. But now my question to you is as to the part whether VP Sara talked to that person about BBM and FL and the speaker, do you have personal knowledge or not?
Pwede ko pong explain, Your Honor.
No,
please?
just answer the question, yes or no.
Your Honor, I
Attorney,
think-
Attorney Lotok, this is not the first time you attended a trial. I'm sure counsel for the prosecutors and redirect will be able to clarify whatever you want to clarify. But in the meantime, answer the question of counsel for the respondent.
Yeah. We do believe that the Vice President had contracted, but I don't have personal knowledge. Kung personal knowledge ang gusto niyong malaman. Pero we do believe based on the evidence that we've gathered and based on our investigation.
Thank you for that admission. All right. The press con was broadcasted to the general public, correct?
Social media, sir, yes.
In other words, everybody listening to it could hear the statements made by VP Sara.
We believe so, sir, yes.
Are you aware that the Vice President is a lawyer?
Yes, sir, of course.
That he has, of course, a law degree and passed the bar exams?
Yes, sir.
With a first attempt and with a rating of 80%, are you aware of this?
I heard it in the news, sir.
Oh, she has a higher grade than most of the lawyers here. But are you aware that she also worked as a court
Objection,
attorney?
relevance, Your Honor. Relevance. Objection,
Counsel for the
relevance.
respondent, kindly avoid those
Yes.
We will comply, Your
disparaging
Honor.
statements, given that there are a lot of lawyers here and you don't know what their grades are. I can...
We will comply, Your Honor. So my question to you is this. If she was serious about her alleged plan involving BBM, FL, and the former speaker, does it make sense for her that she would publicly announce this to the general public? If you know.
I don't know that, Your Honor.
All right. In fact, you showed in your direct examination, you also showed portions of the October 18 press con, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that press con was also done in general, before the general public, correct?
I believe so, sir.
All right. Based on your investigation or your experience as an investigator, kapag may balak bang patayin ng isang tao, sinasabi ba nila yung plano nila sa general public?
Well, kapag may grave threat, sir, naririnig yun ng ibang tao.
All right. My more important question to you is this. Did VP Sara directly say her statements to BBM, FL, and the former speaker?
Well, the fact na sinabi niya yan in public,
Again, Your Honor,
definitely
may
narinig
May we
yun
ask
ng
for a more
presidente.
responsive answer?
Attorney
That's the answer.
Latok, kindly answer. The answer is actually quite obvious. It's a simple question. Did the Vice President utter those statements directly towards the persons allegedly threatened?
We believe so, Your Honor, because the utterances was made in public.
So what's the answer?
We
Did
believe so.
VP Sara directly say those statements to BBM, FL, and the former speaker?
Askan answered. He said, we believe so.
But we did not get the responsive answer, Your
That's
Honor.
the
Can
answer.
we
You
ask
didn't
the
get it.
witness to give a more responsive answer?
That's his answer. We believe so. Yes, that's a yes. That's so clear.
Without putting words into the mouth of the witness, I will be the one to ask. Attorney Latok, you meant yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Proceed, counsel.
All right. Are you aware that in one interview following the press con, BBM mentioned that he was open for reconciliation with the Vice President?
I'm not aware of that.
Not aware, okay. I'll make you aware today. Can we play D-4-12, please?
Mr. President, kayo po ba sa puso ninyo, gusto niyo bang makipagkasundo pa sa mga Duterte?
Oo. Ayoko ng gulo. Gusto ko makasundo sa lahat ng tao. Mas maganda, marami na akong kaaway. Hindi ko kailangan ng kaaway. Kailangan ko kaibigan. Kagaya ng sabi ko sa'yo, pagka... Hindi ko... Magko-confess ako dito.
Pwede naman po, para akong pari po nito ngayon po.
Ewan ko, kahit hanggat maaari, ako, ang habol ko ay yung stability, peaceful, para magawa namin yung trabaho namin. Kaya ako, laging akong bukas sa ganyan. I'm always open to any approach na, alika, magtulungan tayo. Diba? Kahit hindi tayo magkasundo sa polisiya, hindi tayo magkasundo. Gawin nyo yung trabaho, pero wag na tayong nanggugulo. Wag na natin, tanggalin natin yung gulo.
All right. Attorney Lotok. So based on that video, BBM was open to reconcile with VP Sara, correct?
Anong date po ng video, sir?
We will provide the date in a while. They're researching on it. But even without the date, you can confirm.
Di, gusto kong malaman kung anong date, sir.
So you cannot answer the question without us providing the date of this
Tininan
interview?
ko kung ilang buwan na yan after nung November 23.
All right.
Move on, counsel. While you're checking on the date, you can go back to that topic.
Now, assuming that this happened after, do you still maintain that BBM really believed in his mind that VP Sara would harm or kill him?
I mean, how would I know that, Your Honor?
Precisely. So you don't know. You cannot know that, Your Honor. Correct?
Yes.
Because you cannot enter the state of mind of the president. Are you admitting that?
Unless there is a basis, Your Honor, gaya ng investigation namin sa utterances ni VP na may mga circumstances. Pag yan lang ang nakita ko, siyempre hindi namin ma-establish yung state of mind ng presidente.
But isn't it in your affidavit of investigation, you mentioned about the state of mind of the president?
State of mind of the president based
Correct. After the statements of VP Sara, you interpreted the mind. It's like you went into the mind of the alleged offended parties, BBM, FL, and the speaker, and based on your own interpretation, you determined or concluded that they were threatened. Is that not the case?
Yeah, ang sinabi doon ng presidente, nakakabahala yung mga narinig natin itong mga nakaraang araw. And then isa itong kriminal na pagtatangka, ito yung aking papalagan. So at that moment, the president took the utterances serious and real, sir.
But you just based that on his own statement. You did not enter his state of mind, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. I think where is this leading?
What's the
A
objection?
witness is being asked
What's
to
the
enter
basis for the
state of
objection,
mind.
Your Honor?
Kindly wait for the
Incompetence.
counsel for prosecutor to finish his
Incompetent, Your
objection.
Honor. Incompetent. The witness already said that based on their investigation, based on the statement of the president, after the event, he said that they determined that the president felt threatened. And the question now is, did you enter his state of mind? Your Honor, please, I think I'm now objecting on the reason that this person is incompetent to
Your Honor,
enter.
we will be satisfied with just the basis. If he had said incompetence, we would ask for a ruling already. He doesn't have to lecture, Your Honor. And for the record,
Kindly reform, counsel. I think I know where you're getting at.
all right. My question to you is this: do you have background on forensic psychology?
No.
Do you have a background on behavioral psychology?
Well, we were taught about
Just
that
yes
subject
or no.
matter in
Just
the
a
academy.
yes
sir.
or no will do. Do you have a forensic psychology department in the NBI's cybercrime division?
Forensic psychology.
Yes.
We have BSD. We have medical legal department.
Medical
we
legal
have,
only.
We
Okay.
have psychiatrists.
All
we
right.
have psychologists. We have all of those, sir.
All right. In other words, you do not have a professional assessment of the mind of BBM when you conducted this affidavit of investigation, correct?
Okay, sir. The investigation, ganito po ang nangyari. Nung nag-comment yung presidente na nakakabahala yung mga utterances, pera lang ho doon, tiningnan namin yung comment ng iba't ibang government agencies na ganun din yung kanilang reaksyon, nakakabahala yung sinabi ng Vice Presidente, magiging issue yan ng national security. Pera lang ho yun, kinonsider din namin yung comments at impression ng mga media personalities na nag-participate doon sa online press conference. Sabi nila, na-shock sila, nabigla sila, hindi sila na parang totoo yung galit ng Vice President. And then aside from that, from those facts, ganun din ang ginawa namin sa former speaker sa kanyang reaction. So taking all these facts and circumstances, na-establish namin na indeed yung reaction ng presidente is trinato niya na seryoso at totoo yung utterances na yon na ginawa ni VP Sara noong 23. So ito ho, kaya lang dito, ipapakita nyo sa akin yan lang mag-isa, hindi namin nakita yung ibang circumstances. Hindi ho ako makakapagsabi kung sa mind ng presidente is pinatawad na ba niya, ayaw na niya, hindi na ba niya kinoconsider yung mga threat na yon. Pag ganyan lang, Your Honor, sa investigation kasi kailangan makita namin yung iba't ibang sirkumstansya para ma-establish namin whether or not, ito yung ibig niyang sabihin, ito yung intention niya.
For the record, Your Honor, the date of the video is May 19, 2025. So this came after
2025. So, mga 7 months, sir?
Yeah.
7 months.
All right. So based on your experience as an investigator, baka pwedeng ano na.
Again, hindi siya
consider niya
sufficient.
na baguhin
Hindi
yung-
siya sufficient para makita namin. Kasi,
Anyway,
we know for a fact
We-
na...
We're satisfied with your
Yeah.
first answer.
The witness still answering? Well, I didn't even ask a question, Your Honor.
You did, counsel, when you gave the date and asked for his opinion. Kindly finish your answer.
Thank you, Your Honor. We, as lawyers, we know for a fact that the state of mind can manifest based on the overt acts of the speaker. So dito kasi, kung ito lang ang pagbabatayan namin, then we try to establish yung intent o yung state of mind ng presidente, kulang ho yan. So siguro kung may makikita pa kaming ibang circumstances na magpapatunay na binaliwala niya na yung appearances, pinatawad niya yung vice presidente, and things like that, then we can somehow said mukhang ang totoo yung sinabi ng presidente na pinatawad na niya.
All right, but I'll move on to a different point.
Before counsel for the respondent continues, what is the pleasure of Senator Judge Cayetano?
Just one specific clarification on that point, just so that we don't lose the point.
The
With your
gentleman
permission,
may proceed.
Presiding. Yeah. Excuse me lang sa prosecution and sa defense. Witness, one point lang, maybe one
Yes,
or
sir.
two questions on that
Yes,
point.
Your Honor.
Sabi mo, the President, sa pananaw mo, and yung iba, Speaker Martin felt threatened.
Base doon sa investigation namin, sir.
Base sa investigasyon at base sa video.
Base sa video, sa investigation, at sa ibang testimony.
So if they felt threatened, that means tingin nila totoo yung sinabi ni VP Sara na patayin sila.
If
Kasi
the-
they wouldn't feel threatened if they don't think na she meant it, na patayin silang tatlo, right?
In our investigation, they trinato nila yung utterances as seryoso.
Yes.
At
So
banta
they
ito.
won't feel threatened unless tingin nila seryoso yung threat.
According to them, seryoso yung threat,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. But the threat was, pag pinatay niyo ako, papatayin ko kayo. So kung hindi naman nila sila balak patayin, why would they feel threatened? Unless you're saying now, you think, balak nga nilang papatay si Vice President.
Actually, sir, ito, from the point of view of law enforcement like us, yun nga yung naging alarming na issue dun na sa amin, sir. Sa
No,
amin
I agree. I'm also, Mr. Witesa, I'm also alarmed with the language, with saying that. I'm alarmed with what's happening in our country, in flood control, etc. But that's not my point. My point is, in your investigation, para maging grave threat, kailangan yung party na trineten feels threatened. Pero ang sinabi ni VP Sara, pag pinatay ako, patayin silang tatlo. So kung wala naman silang tatlo balak na patayin siya, why would they feel threatened? Did that not come into your mind as an investigator?
What comes into your mind, Your Honor, is yun nga, yung possibility na God forbids may mangyari sa BP na hindi naman alam ng tatlo, then mati-trigger ngayon yung instruction, then papatayin yung tatlo na hindi naman nila alam. At the same time,
No,
may
then in
mga
that-
ibang grupo
Then in
na
that case, hindi ba logical, because you're the President of the Philippines, you order the PSC to make sure that walang mangyari sa kanya rather than baliktad na tinanggalan siya ng security.
nung tinanggal...
I'm just following your logic. I won't
Yes, sir.
I won't argue. Finish your and I'm satisfied, Mr. President. I'm just trying to figure out nga how you came about yung gave threats given
Yeah.
na ang sinabi niya kung papatayin ako. So
We-
finish your answer so that
we qualify that grave threats sa term namin as event-based condition na yun nga pag nangyari yung event magti-trigger ngayon yung threat ng Vice President. Now insofar as na-threaten sila, yung sinasabi mo po sir na pag namatay si Vice President, tsaka papatayin ngayon ng tao na inutusan niya, yung 3. Ang isa sa alarming, na very alarming part na nakita namin, yung mga sasakay ho na grupo po eh. Kasi, God forbid, pwedeng mawala ang Vice Presidente but not necessarily sila yung dahilan. Pwedeng namatay siya for one reason or the other. Then, ang impression na ng marami, ang may kasalanan nito, yung 3. So, again, magkakalabo-labo na yan. May sasakay na sa issue, thinking na pag pinatay nila yung 3, ang sisisihin ngayon yung kampo ni Vice Presidente kasi may attirances na ginawa ang Vice Presidente to that effect. So, yun ho yung sa investigation namin. Now, insofar as pumasok ho yung elements ng grave threats, yeah, we believe na pumasok yung elements ng grave threats kasi nasatisfy ho lahat ng elements ng grave threat based on the revised panel code.
I'm assessing your answer, but malayo na malapit yung sagot mo dun sa triggering events, ha? Kasi parang logical, di ba? Dahil sinabi niya yon, baka may gumawa. Hindi nga mag-trigger, papatay sa kanya. So para matrigger na patayin ang Pangulo, you're saying that VP Sara is asking other people to kill her so that they can kill Marcos. Di sana sinabi na lang niya, patayin niyo si Marcos. Sabi mo i-trigger, but anyway, I'm trying to process, but hindi logical yung sinabi mo that event will trigger. Because the event that will trigger the assassination on the 3 is the killing of the Vice President. And the Vice President will not tell people, kill me so that you kill them.
Precisely, Your Honor. Ang death kasi, for instance, mamatay yung Vice Presidente, it does not necessarily follow na yung 3 yung nagpapatay base doon sa attirances. Pwede kasing mamatay yung Vice Presidente for one reason or the other. And again, since walang makakalam kung sino ang pumatay dyan, ang impression ng mga tao ngayon, matitrigger ngayon yung instruction. Pag na-trigger yung instruction, pwede na ngayon sumakay yung iba-ibang grupo thinking na kahit mabulilyaso ang sisisihin dito, ang Vice Presidente. Kasi nga, may attirances na ginawa ang Vice Presidente in public. From the point of view of law enforcement, ang gulo nun, Your Honor, matter of national security po yun. It's a matter of national security, Your Honor.
Counsel for the respondent may proceed with his cross.
So just to, before I leave this point, at any rate, you made all those observations and conclusions without any background on forensic
What do you mean?
psychology, correct?
I don't have background for forensic
All right.
psychology.
Okay, that's enough. Now, I'll go on to a different point. Let's talk about the context of these statements. The press con included a question and answer portion.
Again, sir?
The press con included a question and answer portion.
Yes, I think so.
And the VP Sara statement, which you investigated, was an answer to a question that was asked during the press con.
Yes, sir.
And in fact, the focus of your investigation was VP Sara's answer, correct?
What kind of answer, sir?
Answer to the question asked in the press con.
Can you tell me the specific questions and the specific answers?
You were
sir?
the one who investigated it and you don't know the statement that you
Objection vague.
investigated?
I will
Marami yung
object vague.
question doon, maraming answers, sir. Saan po
Exactly.
doon ang tinutukoy?
Objection
niyo?
vague.
Sustained. Kindly reform, counsel.
All right. In our exhibit D-1-145A, I will read the transcription. This is the transcription also by John Mark Kalilong, dated December 26, 2024. A certain Princess Maui asked,
Counsel may approach from both parties to assist the witness.
mag-iingat po kayo kasi sa dinami-rami ng pasabog ninyo ngayong gabi, it seems like marami po talaga kayong alam about them dahil sa pagkakasama ninyo sa kanila during the campaign and during the 2022 elections. Baka po mamaya kasi totoo yung mga naririnig namin, I don't know if it's true, na meron daw silang Operation Romanov. And baka bala kayong ubusin ang inyong pamilya dahil hadlang kayo sa kanilang mga balak in the future. So mag-iingat po kayo. My question to you is this. Will you agree that based on this question by one Princess Maui, there was also a threat against VP Sara and her family, namely Operation Romanov?
Well, sabi ko nga, narinig ko yung term na Romanov nung binigkas yun ni Mayor Baste noong January during Maisog Rally. Other than that, wala ako kaming validated na about Romanov operation.
But you watched this video, correct? So you heard it also during that time.
Yan ho yung sabi ni Princess Maui, sir.
So you heard
Then,
it.
nag-invite kami kay Princess Maui, tinanong ko yung agent on case, kung nag-invite ba tayo kay Princess Maui, ang sabi ng agent on case, hindi raw siya nag-appear.
All right.
Kasi we want to clarify
With the
things, sir.
permission of the counsel for the respondent, what is the pleasure of Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo?
Mr. Presiding Officer, kahapon kasi nabanggit yung Romanov and I did mention na para sa akin, nagmula yung salitang Romanov kay Mayor Baste Duterte when during a rally yung sa Maisog in Davao. So, ang tanong ko ngayon kay Mr. Witness, matatandaan po ba kung ano yung sinabi ni Mayor Baste Duterte patungkol dun sa Romanov that night?
Yes, Your Honor, I will try if
Can you
I
tell us?
remember it right. Ang sabi niya, Mr. President, sabi niya, remember what happened to the Romanovs. If I'm not mistaken, sir, parang ang sinasabi niya, kasi mayroong...
No, I think when you go to bed tonight, continue.
Yes, sir, yan. Sabi ko yan.
Okay.
When you go to bed tonight, think about the Romanovs. Yung po yata yung pagkasabi. Parang sinasabi niya na baka mangyari sa pamilya niyo yon gaya ng nangyari sa inyo noong 1996. Kung tama yung memory ko, sir. Parang ganun po ang sinasabi ni Mayor Baste.
Kaya nga, Mr. Presiding Officer, nagtataka ako na binanggit yan ni Princess Maui doon sa press conference, sa online press conference ni VP Sara, yung Romanov na banta for Sara Duterte when in fact, it was Baste Duterte ang nabitaw ng salita na yon warning sa first family. So, which, Mr. Witness, para sa'yo, saan ba talaga yung Romanov nag-umpisa at sino ba talaga ang dapat mag-ingat doon sa banta na Romanov?
Yeah, insofar as our investigation is concerned, since nag-start yan doon kay Mayor Baste at wala ho kaming ma-validate na ibang Romanov operations na nangyari, I think nag-start yan sa kanila, sir, sa kapatid ng Vice Presidente.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. No other questions? Mr. Presiding Officer.
Noted, entered into the records, and counsel for the respondent may continue with this cross.
All right. So you mentioned that just now that Mayor Baste said, think about the Romanovs, correct?
Yan yung statement ni Mayor Baste, sir.
But I'm asking Operation Romanov eh. So hindi naman think about the Romanovs. My question to you is this.
With the permission of counsel for the respondent, Senator Tulfo seeks recognition again. What is the pleasure of Senator
Yeah,
Tulfo?
I just want to make it clear, Mr. Presiding Officer, na yung threat na yon, yung Romanov na salita, it was used to warn as a threat to the first family. The word Romanov came from the mouth of Mayor Baste Duterte, na para bang binabantaan niya yung first family. You follow me, Mr. Witness?
Yes, sir. Tama po yun.
Thank
Tama
you.
po yun.
Noted. Counsel may proceed.
Your Honor, that's my question. Can the witness be allowed to answer that question with a manifestation first before he allows?
Kindly repeat the question because even I forgot the question.
All right.
Counsel.
You mentioned that Mayor Baste said that statement, think about the Romanovs, etc.
Yes, sir.
But he did not mention Operation Romanov. It was Princess Maui who mentioned the word Operation Romanov. And I know you don't have, I personally don't have any knowledge about what Mayor Baste said, and that is not the subject of this case. Let's just stick to the facts of this case. Okay? In the video, it was Princess Maui who said Operation Romanov. All right? Now, will you agree with me that based on that question, there was also a threat against VP Sara and her family? That's the question.
According to the question, sir, yes.
All right. Now, you mentioned yesterday that you can motu proprio investigate threats against the Vice President.
Under the law, sir, yes.
All right. My next question is very simple. Did you conduct a separate investigation on Operation Romanov?
Well, since ang focus ng operations namin, sir, is cybercrime investigation, I think ang makakasagot niyan yung intelligence service namin, sir. Insofar as the cybercrime division is concerned, ang focus namin, crimes committed by, through, and with the use of information and communication technology. As to the fact whether or not may Operation Romanov, ang makakasagot po niyan either yung intelligence service o yung director ho namin, sir.
So insofar as you are concerned, there is no ongoing investigation on Operation Romanov.
Again, ang focus ho ng investigation namin doon sa grave threat and then inciting to sedition against the Vice President, insofar as the existence of whether or not may Operation Romanov, siguro makakasagot niyan, sir, yung intelligence service, yung director ho namin.
All right. So no. At any rate, are you aware of if the Vice President was the target of unauthorized intelligence or surveillance operations?
I'm not aware, sir.
All right.
With the permission of council, Chair will recognize Senator Judge Pangilinan, thereafter Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo.
Just one or two quick questions.
You may proceed, sir.
On the issue of Princess Maui.
Opo.
And itong investigasyon na sinasabing inimbestigahan ba yung threat against the Vice President. Kung hypothetically dumating si Princess Maui at nagpaliwanag tungkol sa Operation Romanov at sinabi niya ang detalye,
Yes, sir.
kikilos ba ang
Definitely,
cybercrime?
sir. Definitely.
Ano ang gagawin ninyo kung nakuha ninyo yung ganong klaseng impormasyon?
We will validate the information first, sir.
Ang problema, sabi nga ninyo kanina, hindi nga humarap.
Opo, sir.
But as in any other case, kung may humarap at pinag-usapan at sinabi ganito yung threat, what is the standard operating procedure of the NBI?
We validate first the information, sir. And then pag confirm na, then we will start case build-up, sir.
Thank you.
Dyan.
Thank you.
Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, what is your pleasure, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Just want to direct my question to the witness here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung Romanov plot, well, aside from what Senator Judge Tulfo said, that came from Baste, but I picked it up doon sa video na pinalabas kanina ng defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
yung Romanov plot versus Sara, according to Princess Maui. Did you take that information seriously or not?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the reason why nung marinig namin o makita namin yung question ni Princess Maui about the Romanov, we conducted an open source investigation. Tinignan ho namin baka meron. Ayun nga, ang nakita namin yung January 2024 during Maisog Rally, if I'm not mistaken, na yung the word Romanov, ang nagbigkas ho noon si Mayor Baste, Your Honor.
All right. So, yung statement ni Princess Maui sa video, how do you rate that info? Sa inyo po sa NBI, sa mga intelligence agencies, yung mga informations po ninyo, may rating. Tama po ba? Correct me if I'm wrong here, Mr. Witness. For example, pag yung information po ninyo, pag yung information po na natanggap ninyo ay may mga rating po. A1, completely reliable. A2, completely reliable information, probably true. B1, usually reliable source, information confirmed. B2, usually reliable information, probably true, but needs validation. C1, fairly reliable source, information confirmed. C2, fairly reliable source, information needs validation. D to F, source is doubtful, unreliable, or reliability cannot be assessed. So, saan yun nilagay yung sinabi ni Princess Maui
Saan dito sa classification po na ito ng source of information? Is it A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 hanggang DF? Saan po? Kasi po ngayon, sir, napakarami na po mga impormasyon ng mga fake news.
Opo, sir. Sir, kung pwede na pong sumagot.
Go ahead po. Go ahead.
Sir, yung una po namin ginawa, we try to invite Princess Maui to shed light doon sa sinasabi nilang Romanov. Since hindi ho nag-appear si Princess Maui, wala ho kaming basis. So, classify muna namin ito na non-validated information. Naghanap kami sa open source. Yun nga, ang nakita namin, ang unang nagbigkas niyan, si Mayor Baste. So, medyo nakita namin, teka muna, parang baliktad yata ang sitwasyon. Kung kay Mayor Baste nagsimula ang Romanov, bakit dito ito yung tinatanong ni Princess Maui sa Vice Presidente? So, medyo it doesn't make sense, sir. Wala kaming na-validate since hindi nag-appear si Princess Maui. So we classify the information as unvalidated
So
information.
what you did, nung hindi mo ma-confirm yung kay Princess Maui information, naghanap ka ng
Opo.
counter source,
Yes, sir. Open source, sir.
open source, okay, to validate.
Yes, sir.
And what happened to that source?
Yeah, based doon sa video na yon, January, if I'm not mistaken, yun nga, yung Maisog Rally, Your Honor, ang unang nagbanggit ng Romanov, si Mayor Baste, parang tinatakot niya yung presidente.
Okay,
Doon.
Mr. Witness, I'm running out of time. So isa lang pong tanong ko. So yung information po ni Princess Maui dun sa video, yung sinabi niya kay BP, hindi po reliable.
Hindi reliable insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned,
Thank
sir.
you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
The interventions of the Senator Judge are noted. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Villanueva?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. President. Just a very quick question on this particular topic, and I will no
Gentleman
longer.
may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will no longer dwell on the Operation Romanov, despite the fact that thank you to Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo who told me that about the dates, and I will not even mention.
Ni Mayor Baste is pag natulog ka sa gabi, remember the Romanovs. So we have to look at our history. The Romanovs were evicted via a revolution. Diba? So, Mayor Baste was doing a parallel ng 1986 na paalis yung mga Marcoses via a revolution. But unlike the Romanovs, the Marcoses were given asylum or whatever you call it in Hawaii, and over time, nakabalik until the president became president. Ang Romanovs, inubos sila para nga hindi balik. Now, if Mayor Baste was making Romanovs uubusin kayong Marcos, di dapat na-offend si Senator Judge Amy Marcos because she's a Marcos. No? So, secondly, if he made that threat, so if he was saying, may oplan mo, Romanov or maro-Romanov kayo, I'm sure the PNP or the Presidential Security Command, the National Council, would have filed a case against Baste. So I just want, it's fair that you mentioned him, it's fair sa investigation mo, but I don't think we should draw a conclusion here that Mayor Baste was threatening the first family because remember, there's a thin line between a warning and a threat. So pag sinabi ko sa iyo ngayon, witness, pareho tayong abogado, kompanyero, pareho tayong taga-Ateneo, mag-ingat ka sa sasabihin mo. That could be a fair warning. That could be not a threat, di ba? But kapag ka may threat talaga na pinarating ko sa iyo, pag hindi ko gusto ano mo, kakasuhan kita, that could be a illegal threat, di ba? Pero pwedeng warning. So I just want that on the record, Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. Senate President, because everyone's watching, and in the same manner, we have to be fair to the first family. We have to be fair also to Mayor Baste and to the Dutertes, that rather than draw a conclusion that there was an actual. So the Council for Defense was making a distinction, mentioning Romanov and Oplan Romanov are two different things. It may be the same, it may be different thing. For all we know, narinig ni Mayor Baste na sila Iro Romanov, kaya binanggit niya pa balik. We don't know. I don't know. I haven't discussed it with anyone. I haven't discussed it with the few senators na kaibigan ko dito. So let's just be circumspect and careful from making conclusions. But as far as it is relevant, Mr. Presiding Officer, I appreciate the answer of the witness. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Senator Go, thereafter Senator Padilla. Senator Go, you have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Balik muna tayo dito sa ating bayan. Masyado lang malayo, inaabot natin. To our Mr. Witness, some questions lang po, no?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Nabanggit nyo kahapon na 20 years na ho kayo sa NBI.
12 years, Your Honor.
Be specific, anong year po nakapasok?
2014, Your Honor. Nagsimula po ako from the NBI Academy.
2014?
2014. 12 years na po, Your Honor.
Hindi 20 years.
Hindi 20 years, Your Honor. 12, Your Honor.
12 years. So, kailan ho kayo nag-head ng cybercrime?
February 2023, Your Honor.
February of 2023. Maupay na adlaw pala.
Maupay po nga adlaw gyapon, sir.
And to our prosecutor.
Maayong hapon, sir. Maayong hapon.
Maupay na kulop.
Maupay man.
Kailan ho kayo naging RD?
July 2025, sir.
July 2025. So, naging cybercrime head kayo February of 2023.
Sir.
Before that, saan ho kayo na-assign?
Chief ng Digital Forensics, sir, 2022.
2020. Anyway. So, meron ho bang nag-recommend sa inyo or wala na, nag-apply lang kayo o sino
Nang ano po, sir?
Naging head kayo ng cybercrime?
As Chief of the Digital Forensics, I was designated by the then Director Medardo J. De Lemos. Then as Chief of the Cybercrime Division, I was also designated by the then Director Medardo J. De Lemos, sir.
2016 to 2022, saan kayo na-assign?
2016, I think anti-organized crime and transnational crime.
Up to 2020.
AOTCD, yun, Your Honor. Then 2018, nasa Cybercrime Division na po ako.
So hindi po kayo head doon?
Hindi pa. As an investigation agent po noong 2018, sir.
Anyway, nabanggit niyo po kanina about sworn affidavit. And then nabanggit niyo about journalists, no? Na part nung press conference. Tama ho ba?
Yes, sir.
Marami sila, di ba? Maraming nabanggit
Yes,
sa
Your
mga
Honor.
nakarang araw, including last week, di ba? Bakit ho ba ba't hindi nyo kinuha bakit po hindi kinuha ang sariling sworn affidavit ng mga journalists na personal na naroon po sa press conference? Sa halip ay affidavits po ng agents na naglalaman po ng inyong summary ng mga sinabi po ninyo. Bakit hindi nyo pinursige yung mga affidavits ng mga nandoon sa...
Yes, Your Honor. Nung nag-appear po yung mga media personalities na nag-participate nung online press conference at the November 23, 2024, may kasama ho silang lawyer, and then we want to them to execute an affidavit. Ang advice sa kanila ng lawyer, hindi na raw. Pwede lang sila mag-participate ng interview. Pwede sila mag-sign sa minutes at meeting. So hindi na po namin pinilit.
So wala hong journalists or mga vloggers na kasama po doon sa sworn affidavit? Wala ho. Sa inyo lang, purely puro po ito sa
NBI.
Galing sa NBI lang po.
Yes, sir. Kasi ayaw po ng lawyer nila na mag-execute sila ng affidavit.
Okay.
Pero may kasama po silang lawyer doon, sir.
Yung mga detalye pong nakasaad sa inyong affidavit tungkol sa naganap na press conference, galing ho ba ito sa personal knowledge ng mga agents o batay po sa sinabi ng mga journalists na nakausap po ng agents pagkatapos?
Yes, Your Honor. Q&A, yung mode nung interview at nag-reflect ho yan doon sa minutes of meeting, and then nag-execute ng affidavit yung nag-interview na agent. So magkasama ho yung mga dokumento na yun, sir.
Mako-consider mo ba ito na second-hand account? Paano nyo masigurong naging actual ho yung pag-interpret ninyo sa mga sinabi?
Ano pong interpret, sir.
I mean, kung batay po ito sa second-hand account, paano nyo masisiguro na sakto, walang naidagdag, o hindi na misinterpret sa pagitan ng aktual na sinabi ng mga journalists at mga nakasulat sa inyong affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the reason why inauthenticate namin yung video mula simula hanggang sa matapos para hindi kami mawala sa tunay na nangyari. That's the reason why transcribe din ng ating agent on case kung ano laman ng video, kung ano yung naging tanungan doon para hindi ko kami mawala sa investigasyon namin. And in fact, Your Honor, when we try to establish whether or not nag-utter ba talaga ang Vice Presidente na may kinausap na siyang tao para pumatay sa tatlo, na confirm namin ito nung November 26 video kasi ni-reiterate ng Vice Presidente, inadmit niya, instead na sinabi niyang hindi ko sinabi yon, sinabi niya nung November 26 na video na indeed may kinausap na siyang tao para pumatay doon sa tatlo. So, nabuo yung aming investigation na ang tawag po namin doon is admission against interest doon po sa ginawa ni Vice President during the November 26, 2024, sir.
Anyway, last question na lang po on sedition. No? How do you reconcile the fact that the Vice President discouraged her supporters from going to the streets with a claim of inciting to sedition?
Ano po yung, sorry.
On
sir.
sedition charges, di ba?
Yes, sir.
How do you reconcile the fact that the Vice President discouraged her supporters from going to the streets with a claim of inciting to sedition?
Well, in inciting to sedition, Your Honor, specifically in the case of People versus Nabong, it is not necessary na magkaroon ng actual sedition. The law also penalizes if the seditious words would encourage people to do illegal acts or to overthrow government. In other words, if the speeches would stir up the people to go against the government, if the speeches would disturb the peace of the community, if the speeches would undermine public order and public security, hindi ho necessary na magkaroon ng actual na sedition. That's under
Meron
law,
ho
sir.
bang nagawa yung Vice Presidente na gaya ng sinasabi niyo ngayon?
Nagawa pong inciting to sedition, sir? Based sa findings namin, sir, yes. Based po sa findings namin. Ganito po ang nangyari. Kinumpare po namin based on the content and context of the utterances made by the Vice President in November 23, 2024, the utterances made by the Vice President in October 18, 2024, then the utterances made by the Vice President in 26 November 2024, and other facts and circumstances. Nung trinay po namin i-compare siya, may nakita ho kami ng mga utterances that would stir up the people against the government. For example, Your Honor, nung October 18, ang sabi ng Vice Presidente, walang number 1 ang Pilipinas na to, hanggang number 2 lang to para sa akin. Wala itong number 1. Kinumpara ho namin nung November 23, ang sabi doon sa November 23, I do not recognize anybody above me. It's a reiteration dun sa kanyang sinabi. That's number 1, Your Honor. Then number 2, may sinabi siya noong October 18 na anong magagawa ko, hindi marunong maging presidente yung nakaupo. Kasalanan ko ba yun? And then, November 23, kinumpara namin yon. Ang sabi niya doon, this country will go to hell because the person na nakaupo is hindi marunong maging presidente and who is a liar. So nakita namin yung pattern saka consistent na utterances. Then tinira namin yung pangatlong line, ang sabi niya doon, alam ko si BBM may 5 impeachable offense, pero papasa ba dyan sa House? Siyempre hindi. Then pagdating sa November 23, sinabi naman niya doon na the President is lying through his teeth para makuha lang niya yung boto ng mga tao. Tapos minura niya sila, PI ka, BBM, Lisa Marcos, and former Speaker of the House. So, tiningnan namin, sino ba yung nagsasalita? Kung ang nagsasalita, Your Honor, is yung ikalawa sa pinakamataas na posisyon in public at yun yung kanyang utterances, definitely, Your Honor, there is a tendency to stir up the people against lawful government.
Kindly wind up,
Against the
Senator
government.
Go.
No more question, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank
Salamat
you,
po.
Senator Judge
Salamat.
Go. Senator Judge Padilla intimated to the presiding officer that he will defer his questions to a later time. Counsel for the respondent, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Just a manifestation, Your Honor, in relation to the query or the manifestation of Senator Judge Villanueva.
In relation to the query of
No,
Senator...
his manifestation, Your Honor.
No need, counsel. Proceed unless he asked you a question to save in the court's time. Please proceed with your cross-examination.
All right, I'll just transform it into a question. You were asked
Yes, you
about
can.
that December 2, 2024 letter, correct?
December 2, yes, sir.
Oh, that is the letter where you gave a schedule for the Vice President to attend, correct?
Yeah, signed by our assistant
All
director.
right. But
sir.
the schedule that you gave was November 11, 2024 at 10 a.m. and then you gave the address. So in other words,
Sinabi ko na ho yan kahapon, typographical
okay,
error yun, sir.
my question naman is this if tama yung schedule sana at nakapunta si VP Sara, would it have affected your investigation?
Your Honor, even up till now, ready ho kaming tanggapin kung anumang information na threat against the life ng Presidente, continuous, ng Vice Presidente, continuous po yun. In fact, sabi ko nga kanina, yung intelligence service namin is may ginagawang monitoring from time to time dun sa threat to life against the Vice President, President, etc.
Okay, I'll move on to a new point. Now, let me show you a portion of the interview of Dempsey Reyes of the Philippine Daily Inquirer. Please direct your attention to paragraph 13 of the minutes of the meeting. This is also the transcription made by Agent Kalilong. Page 173 of
Pwede na ba?
Annex G9 as well. So, here, it says, may press con kasi earlier than that, sabi niya na parang sabi niya lang, gusto daw siyang patayin daw according to her ni Speaker. That was during a press conference the day before, November 2022. So, considering that this is part of the minutes of the meetings, this is also part of the NBI's own records, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, my question is this. Did you issue a subpoena against Speaker Martin Romualdez, former Speaker Martin Romualdez?
Did you issue a subpoena? Kay Speaker Romualdez, sir?
Yes.
Kasi, ba't ako mag-issue ng subpoena? Wala pa kaming sufficient na...
So what's you did not issue?
Hindi kami nag-issue,
All right.
sir.
So, in other words, for VP Sara, you issued not just one, but two subpoenas. But
Because-
for the former speaker, you did not issue a subpoena. That's just a question.
There is an apparent commission of the crime for grave threats and inciting to sedition, sir.
I see. So, for this particular portion, you just turned a blind eye and did not issue.
Well,
Anyway,
there is no
my-
validated
let the witness
information
answer,
on
Your
that,
Honor.
sir.
Let
Okay.
the witness answer. There
Okay.
was a question.
Yeah, but based on
Counsel, kindly don't argue with the witness.
based on your testimony yesterday, you said that you have a system of evaluating factors, correct? My question to you is, based on that system, does Martin Romualdez have the capacity to execute a death threat, for example?
We haven't established any apparent crime committed by the former speaker, Your Honor. So, hindi kami nag-delve dyan sa issue na yan.
Yeah, at any rate, this minutes of the meeting, which you all confirmed that is part of the NBI's own record, isn't this information regarding the death threat against VP Sara?
Well, ang sabi po dyan, if I may read my press con, kasi earlier than that, sabi niya, sabi lang niya, gusto daw siyang patayin daw, according to her, ni Speaker, that was during a press conference the day before. Precisely, Your Honor, the reason why we issued a letter noong November 22 is to ask the Vice President kung ano ho yung facts and circumstances dyan sa issue na yan. But since hindi ho nag-appear ang Vice Presidente, wala ho talaga kaming mapagsimulan. Wala kaming validated information.
But you issued the subpoena against Dempsey Reyes, correct?
Yes, sir.
Pero ang tinanong nyo kay Dempsey Reyes, yung case lang against VP Sara. Hindi niya siya tinanong ng threats to her, correct?
Well, unang-una, ang ini-establish namin, ang focus ng investigation namin, the reason why we subpoena the late Dempsey Reyes is whether or not nag-utter ba yung Vice President doon sa statement niya na nag-contract na siya ng tao para patayin si BBM, si Lisa Marcos,
Okay,
at si former
that's
speaker.
okay.
Sir, yun po yung focus ng investigation namin.
So despite that track, you still maintain that this part of the investigation, you did not have bias.
We don't have bias.
Argumentative,
All right,
Your Honor.
I'll move on.
Argumentative.
I'll move on. Let's go back to the investigation that you did against VP Sara. So you mentioned yesterday that the offended parties in this case, if at all, are BBM, FL, and the former speaker, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you subpoena any of them?
No, sir.
Did they appear before the NBI?
No, sir.
Nakausap niyo ba sila ng personal?
No, sir.
And yet, you concluded that they were victims of grave threats, correct?
Based on the evidence we've gathered, yes, sir.
So without any personal correspondences with them, you came to that conclusion,
The evidence is clear, sir.
according to you.
Oh, objection, Your Honor. I move that. Oh, wait.
Counsel-
We cannot let
counsel-
this
No,
pass.
that's part
I
of-
move, Your Honor, that the defense counsel, with all due respect, be admonished from stating those unprofessional remarks. We are in front of national TV.
No, that's
That is his answer. If you are not satisfied with his answer, please don't lay any value to what the witness answered. Your Honor, may I move that the
This is a
counsel...
reminder. This is a reminder for counsel for both parties. Kindly avoid side remarks. Henceforth, the presiding officer will have it stricken off the record. And whatever question you pose and afterwards withdraw will likewise be stricken off from the record, so as to avoid any attempts at showmanship usually seen on TV, yes, but will not be tolerated by this impeachment court. Counsels are so reminded.
we will comply, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
To clarify, Mr. Witness, yung NBI subpoena against VP Sara that you issued was her being a respondent, correct?
Yes, sir.
Pero as a complainant, you did not issue.
We issued a letter, sir, December
No.
2.
As the complainant na siya yung subject naman ng threats, walang subpoena as to that effect.
Walang sampina, sir.
So in other words, hindi talaga siya naka-explain kasi what you sent out was a letter and not a subpoena.
Yung letter is to inform the Vice President na iniimbestigahan din namin yung threat against sa life niya. So therefore, kailangan namin yung presence niya or any information na pwedeng makatulong sa investigation.
Yun na nga, pero hindi niya siya sinenda ng subpoena. Isn't it that in a regular case, the prosecutor sends out a subpoena both to the complainant and to the respondent?
With the prosecutor, sir?
Yes. You're a lawyer, you know this.
What
When
do
you
you
file
mean,
a
sir?
case before the prosecutor's office, the handling prosecutor issues out sa subpoena sa parehong parties.
Ang
Tama?
alam ko, during the case concert, I think nag-appear yata ang Vice Presidente sa DOJ. Yan,
Alright.
doon ako na-inform. sir.
Okay, I'll move on to a new point. Let's talk about the reversal by the DOJ. Diba? There was a initial finding on February 5 and then it was eventually reversed. Now, would you agree with me that the rectifications that you made for the first affidavit of investigation were procedural deficiencies?
Procedural deficiencies.
Like the
No,
TSN,
it's part of the case build-up, Your Honor.
but what you added were TSNs, affidavits of your own agents, correct? Don't you consider that as...
Those were affidavits.
Yes, but don't you consider that those as procedural and not substantive?
Part of the evaluation and case build-up, yes, sir.
All right. But in effect, the substance of the case remained the same.
Walang nabago ho sa affidavit, sa una at sa pangalawa, parehas po yun.
Very good.
sir.
So in other words, no additional discussion on the merits of the case.
On the merits of the case, yung findings namin, hindi ho nabago
All
yun,
right.
sir.
Very good. So no additional witnesses were interviewed.
What do you mean, interview, sir?
Wala nang additional interviews. Kung ano yung sa first affidavit nyo, yun na rin yung sa second affidavit. Wala nang additional interviewees.
Kung, I think, ang naalala ko, 6 ho na media personalities ang na-interview namin at yun ho yung nag-reflect sa nag-reflect sa affidavit. At the same time, we tried to issue subpoena sa, I think, head ng ABS-CBN.
I understand that, but be more responsive.
Your Honor, if I may, the witness is still in the process of answing
Yeah,
his...
but Your Honor, but the answer is not
Exactly.
responsive. Eh. My question is very
Let him
simple.
finish first, with all due respect, Your Honor.
With the permission of the counsel for the parties. Attorney Lotok, the question was, sa pagitan ng una at pangalawang sinubmit ninyo sa DOJ, may mga testigo ba kayong dinagdag sa pangalawa niyong submission sa DOJ? O pareho din po yung mga testigo, nilakip lang yung mga affidavit na hindi na ilakip dun sa unang pag-submit?
Yeah, insofar as I'm concerned, Your Honor, parehas lang po.
Okay.
All right.
You may proceed, counsel.
But we will never know that for sure because you never released your first affidavit of investigation, correct?
Well, I think it's in the DOJ. Ang binigay sa amin yung certification kung ano yung mga requirements na dapat namin i-comply.
Yeah, but what you attach, when you received the subpoena from the House Committee on Justice, which was used as the basis for the articles of impeachment, the first affidavit of investigation was never included, correct?
Yung nag-submit ho dyan, Your Honor, sila Agent Kalilong, wala akong idea
Hindi
doon
nyo alam.
sa...
All right, that's okay.
person.
So, I have a question about the affidavit of investigation, okay? An affidavit, or I'll just be more specific, your second affidavit of investigation was subscribed and sworn to, correct?
Yes, sir.
On February 10, 2025.
Yes, sir.
All right. Before who?
Can I check, sir?
Sure.
Witness may consult
Thank you,
the document before him.
Your Honor.
Counsel for the parties may assist him.
Your Honor, we'll just confront him with our own...
Subscribe and sworn to before Assistant Director Glenn A. Ricarte. Sir.
All right. So do you remember that you subscribed along with the other agents before General Ricarte now?
Yes, sir. May signature kami rito.
All right. And you did this because the first affidavit of investigation cannot be altered anymore.
What do you mean, sir?
An affidavit, as you know, you are a lawyer. Once an affidavit is subscribed and sworn to, it is a complete document already.
Yeah.
Okay? Meaning, even if you take out one page or you add an annex, you already alter the meaning of that document. Will you agree with me?
Your Honor, the process is legal evaluation by the prosecutor and case build-up. So pag nakita ho ng prosecution...
Your Honor, I'm
na-
just talking about the nature of the affidavit. I'm not
Attorney
talking
Lotok,
about...
kindly answer the question. It's a general question pertaining to an affidavit in general, not this particular one.
Ano yung question,
Okay,
sir?
an affidavit, once you subscribe and swear to it, that already becomes a, if I may use the term, untouchable affidavit in such that you cannot take out one page, you cannot alter one paragraph, you cannot add annex.
Well, I think kung sinubmit niya na ho yan officially sa halimbawa sa korte, hindi na ho pwede yan. Pero yung process ho namin, yung evaluation tsaka case build-up, nag-uusap po ang prosecutor tsaka yung investigator. So sinasabi ng pros, pag may kulang ka, ito. So itong unang affidavit, since may kulang sa mga attachment, ayusin nyo, baguhin nyo, i-comply nyo yung mga requirements. Since yung affidavit na yon is naka-date nung January 30 at magkukomply pa lang kami, anong na-comply namin, nag-submit kami sa DOJ and that is already February 10, 2025. So magkaiba ho yung date. So definitely babaguhin namin yung date. Kasi nga, dumaan kami sa process ng compliance based on...
Wait. In other words, when you
evaluation.
subscribed and sworn to your January 30, 2025 affidavit, you added documents or pages to it?
Ang sabi ko po, sir, ang sabi ng DOJ, may kulang kayong affidavit of authentication, may kulang kayong TSN. Yun ho yung inattach namin doon sa
Precisely.
affidavit.
So in other words, you added documents to your January 30, 2025 affidavit?
Attachment, sir. Attachment.
So
sir.
you admit that you added attachments to it?
Part of compliance, doon sa case build-up, at doon sa evaluation na requirement
All right,
ng
but
Department
Mr.
of
Witness, isn't it
Your
that...
Honor, again, can I respectfully request
Your
through
Honor,
the presiding
may I
officer?
just be allowed to proceed, Your Honor?
Let me be allowed. Can I be
Counsel for the
allowed?
respondent, let the counsel for the prosecutors
Your Honor,
finish with this observation or objection.
Can I make a respectful request to the defense to let the witness finish the answer before they propound the next question, Your Honor, please. For orderly proceeding, Your Honor, please.
Point well taken. Counsel, please proceed accordingly. And may I also remind the witness, Attorney Latok, kindly answer yes or no instead of yeah and nah.
Yes, sir. Sorry po.
So that it's
Your
clear
Honor.
for our records.
Yes,
You
Your
may
Honor.
proceed, counsel, for the respondent.
So you admit that after you subscribe and swear to that January 30, 2025 affidavit, you added documents to it so that it will comply with the requirements of the DOJ. Is that what you're saying?
Attachment based on the requirement of the DOJ, sir.
All right, thank
Yun
you
ang
for that
nilagay namin.
admission. Just one last point on this. Can we flash affidavit of investigation? Can we flash page 1? This is page 13, Your Honor, of the AOI's Annex G9 for the benefit or for the guidance of this honorable court. The one that was flashed earlier.
Tech is instructed to do so.
All right, so this is the first page of the affidavit of investigation. Will you agree with me that this was not received by this particular document as is was not received by the DOJ?
I don't have personal knowledge. Ang inutusan ko po dyan, yung executive officers and agent on case na makipag-communicate sa Department of Justice.
But you are a co-signer of this, correct?
Yeah, insofar as the content of the affidavit.
All right. And so you mean to say that you didn't cause the filing of this case with the DOJ?
Inutusan ko po ang executive officers at si Agent
All right,
Kililong
but
na
you-
sila mag-process po na dalhin yung referral na yan sa Department of Justice, sir.
At any rate, you're smart enough to peruse the first page and you can see that there's no received stamp appearing there too, correct?
Received from DOJ o by DOJ, sir?
By DOJ.
Again, ang makakasagot po niyan, yung nag-process niyan, si executive officer nga namin.
Yeah, but
at si
based
Agent
on
Kililong.
only-
Again, the witness still in the process of answering the question.
Counsel, take it easy. Let the witness complete his answer.
Okay, Your Honor. But based as it appears only, as it appears on this document, this is part of the records and also uploaded in the Senate website already last July 12 so that the public can peruse. Annex GGG, this is page 13. Based on this document and observation, can you notice any received stamp on this document?
Based on that document, wala hong
All right.
naka-stamped or received.
Precisely my point that was attached, if this was really received by the DOJ, there should have been an IDF, right? Or a transmittal letter attached to this.
Again, yung makakasagot po dyan, yung executive officers, Agent Kililong, and the prosecution, sir. Kasi sila ang nag-uusap dyan. Sila ang nagdala ng dokumento na yan.
All right, I'll move on to a new point. Now, Article 4 of...
What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Pia Cayetano?
Mr. President, I wanted to take the floor before the defense went to another point, so I wouldn't interrupt his train of thought.
The lady
also.
has 2 minutes and may proceed when she's ready.
Thank you, Mr. President. My question is actually addressed to both counsels and to the witness.
Yes, ma'am.
So the witness also happens to be a lawyer. 4 na abogado po tayo mag-uusap dito. Pero ang pakiusap ko, speak in layman's term because we want the public to understand. Very simple question. I want to understand your appreciation of the crime of grave threats. Okay? It sounds like a simple question, but when I look at the elements, so explain ko din sa mga nakikinig. Pag tinignan natin ang definition ng crime, nandiyan yung elements. So the prosecution must always prove yung elements of the crime. Ang question ko ay, in your appreciation, dapat ba na ang supposed victim nakaramdam talaga siya ng threats? Or is it enough that the general public considers the statement threatening? Okay, so is it personal or is it a general sentiment? Now, before I proceed, Gusto ko magbigay ng example para maintindihan ng mga kababayan natin. Kung magkapit-bahay, nagkapikunan dun sa bakod, tapos sabi nung isa, bubulohin ko to. Is that a grave threat? Second example, dalawang boksingero, nagkainitan, susuntukin kita. This is among two professional boxers. Is that a grave threat? Third example, police. Sabi, bubunutan ko to ng baril. Is that a grave threat? Maybe it's just offensive. Dahil sa professional, you shouldn't say that to a fellow police. And my fourth example is a senator. Pag sinabi niyang bibitbiting kita, kekwelyuhan kita, palalayasan kita, is that a grave threat? I'll add some details. If that is supposedly addressed to a fellow senator, and she is a female senator like me, na kahit na hindi naman isa hong kilalang runner, marathoner, but a non-violent person, is that a grave threat? Well, I'll just tell you my personal opinion, and then I'll tell you now. I felt that was a grave threat. So, may I ask the counsel and the witness to now answer the question? Thank you.
If you may, Your Honor, please, yung prosecution po.
Senator Judge Pia, who do you want to answer first?
Good
In the
question.
order that you
Pag-iisipan ko
prefer.
ng matagal yan, Mr. President. I give you the decision on that one, Mr. President. Siguro prosecution kasi
Yes po.
sila naman ang kailangan mag-prove ng case nila. And then the witness and then the defense counsel.
Again, an admonition from the chair without stating conclusions of fact and law that again is reserved for the impeachment court. You may state your opinions with respect to the elements of the
Definitely.
crime of grave threat specifically identified
Yes.
by the senator judge.
And if I may, presiding officer, feel free to interrupt them if you feel that they have crossed the line, as I will. That's why I just
Opo,
want, I repeat my question, I want to understand your appreciation of the crime. You may, Mr. President, will we allow them to cite jurisprudence? I leave it up to you. I just
Opo.
want to understand the appreciation kasi.
Opo.
What do you think?
Doon sa particular pong katanungang yon ni Senator Judge Pia Cayetano na dapat ba may takot na naramdaman, correct me if I'm wrong, Senator Judge Pia,
Yes.
yung taong tinatakot o subject matter ng grave threats o pampublikong pagtanggap pa na nakakatakot yung mga sinabi niya laban dun sa taong tinatakot niya.
Siguro a simple yes or no with a very short explanation would
Opo.
suffice, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Attorney Ligutan, you have 2
Maraming
minutes,
salamat,
please.
Senator Pia Cayetano. Maraming salamat sa pagkakataon. Yung sagot sa tanong na iyan, yung sagot po ng prosecution, hindi po galing sa opinion ng aking mga kasama. Ito po ay isang decision. No less than the Supreme Court of the Philippines. It just so happened, Your Honors, as an answer, in answer po sa tanong ni Senator Pia Cayetano, may dalawang kaso na po yung Supreme Court. Yung isa is Paera versus People. Yung GR number, siguro yung mga law students, no? Mga law students. GR number 181626, May 30, 2011. The title is Paera versus People. Sinabi ng Supreme Court doon, wala pong batas na nagre-require na may private complainant. Ibig sabihin, hindi po required na yung biktima mag-execute ng affidavit upang yung akusado po pwedeng ma-found guilty ng grave threat. Paera versus People. But more than that, Your Honor, please, may isang kaso pa. No less than the Supreme Court in the Philippines. Sinabi doon, hindi po kailangan na yung recipient mismo nakaramdam ng takot or that sineryoso yung pagbabanta. Your Honor, to repeat, etong sinabi ng Supreme Court, all that needs to be proven is that they were intended by the accused to have that effects. Yung sagot sa tanong, hindi po galing sa prosecution, hindi po opinion, galing mismo sa Supreme Court of the Philippines, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for that. So, Mr. President, can we now ask
If I may add, Senator Judge P, if I remember my memory aid correctly, there are only certain private crimes that need a private complainant, and most of these are personal crimes such as concubinage, adultery, seduction, abduction, rape, and acts of lasciviousness. Although these crimes are all entitled People of the Philippines versus the accused, without a private complainant, these crimes cannot be filed by the prosecutor in court without the cooperation or affidavit of the private complainant. Counsel for respondent will please reply to the query of Senator Judge Pia Cayetano. You also have 2 minutes, sir.
All right. I will try to avoid making conclusions of fact and law, Your Honor, but I will answer in light of the facts of this case and leave it up to the discretion of this honorable court.
Please, sir, you may proceed.
It is our position that the statements made by the Vice President were not threats in the first place. That's why we were categorizing it as response, a mere response to a Q&A. Number one. Number two, it was never aimed directly at BBM, FL, and the former speaker. In other words, had they not watched the video, for example, they wouldn't have known about it. So in other words, Your Honor, there was no threats to begin with. And so even the discussion on the elements is not really applicable insofar as determining the innocence or guilt of the Vice President. That is basically our position. That is one more thing. And practically, we maintain this position all throughout our pleadings. We never referred to that statement as threats. We always say that if at all, they were alleged threats. But we referred to the statements of the Vice President as statements, as responses. And even in my speech, that's what I said. It was a response, Your Honor. That would be all, Your Honor.
Noted. Attorney Lotok, your response to Senator Judge Pia's question based on your investigation. You may proceed, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. In establishing, Your Honor, whether or not the crime of grave threat exists, we follow the rule. First, whether there is an actus reus, and then second, whether there is a mens rea. So actus reus, Your Honor, means whether the offender in fact uttered the threatening remarks. We were able to establish that. That's why in-authenticate po ng NBI yung video na kung saan nandoon yung utterances. The test of mens rea, Your Honor, what we did, we interpret the utterances objectively and in the light of the circumstances in which they were uttered, in the manner in which those utterances were spoken, the person to whom they were addressed, the utterances were addressed, the relationship between the parties, meaning the offender and the recipients, and then the reactions of the recipients, whether they treat the utterances serious or real. But again, I would agree with what Attorney Ligutan said. In fact, ang basis po namin dyan, yung Garma versus People. Ang isa ho doon sa sinabi ng Garma versus People, hindi ho kailangan na ma-intimidate o itrato ng recipient na seryoso yung threat na yan. Ang sufficient na maipakita lang na yun yung intensyon ng offender, na ma-intimidate at i-treat na seryoso yung utterances or threatening remarks na ginawa niya. Yun po yung naging basihan po namin, Your Honor.